Magic is such an art that if it's done without much thought and the maximum emphasis is given to the number of tricks, it will be nothing more than mediocre. There must have been thousands and thousands of magicians until today, but not many of them happen to find the glory. And there are two perspectives in that. It's not necessary that the one who found the legion status were quite extraordinary in their sleight hand skill. On the other hand, there might be many who might be excelling to the highest level of sleight of hand but might be missing in showmanship, which resulted into their mediocrity and not spreading that much of popularity all across the globe. There are a lot of reference theory materials written about magic. I think this is the topic about which most number of books is available from early history, like the one written by Hocus Pocus Jr., The Art of Legerdemain, then the one by Maskelines, then Devante's Our Magic, and then there are many which goes on, and sometimes there are which haven't got proper reference in history who have written it, but they happen to be an invaluable source of reference. But most of the magicians that are seen in general are so much conceited about their power of being superior to that of the audience that sometimes they end up offending them, or rather appearing haughty or self-puffed up, which is not the right attitude if you want to have a great warm relationship with the audience. There's so many factors that goes into the liking of the magician from the point of perspective of audience. There's so many psychological factors playing that when you do this, it may leave an impact like that, or a reflection of that sort of thing. If you do the sucker trick that is being said to be the one that appears that magician is in trouble and somehow he happens to mend it and then. But there are many types of sucker tricks. One may look stupid, another the audience may guess that you have been playing with their emotion, third you reveal the secret, and fourth you are doing something, there's no revealing of secrets, but still you don't happen to do or achieve the result which you are expecting, and later on you do it. The fourth type is considered the most safest and most gentle form of entertainment. If you decide to go on the sucker tricks, it shouldn't leave the audience that you have been messing around. It was all scripted. Everything should look like it has been natural and had been played on the spot. And magic should look like real magic. There shouldn't be a scope of doubt. And you should run miles ahead of them. That's only when you can imagine extraordinary performance. The Tommy Winder says that as you try to mature through your repertory or act, you happen to have assortment of tricks, but rather than just performing, look at from the side of the audience. Just imagine in your mind and see yourself perform. What sense is it making? What kind of message it's leaving in the minds of audience? What is it? Does it conclude? Does it have a premise? Is it having the interesting opening? He says most of the magicians out there just start the trick by explaining the props or the situation. It's boring. You should start really interesting, like the one we use in the public speech. Public speech from the moment one should be very interesting. That is going to be the part of our future speech challenge. To start with an extraordinary, interesting, gripping, touching starting lines, and the speech should happen to have conclude or prove justice to that premise which we started in the beginning. And when we start to analyze our magic from another angle, from the front or maybe from the outside, we happen to see the flaws, the mistakes, the gaps, the assortment of ideas, the inconclusive behavior, impact of that routine. That is what we need to ensure that it should be making sense. People are not there to just see the tricks. They want to get away with a message. They want to be entertained, and entertainment with something connecting all in a string and making a sense makes a hell lot of difference, and it should be taken care. Of course, it will be difficult in the starting because it takes extra work, and we happen to have take the path of least resistance. If you're going to choose the path, mediocrity or failure is going to come in your way. Rather, look into it, see if there is any unnatural moment, try to cover it with something that you can do. Then only you can see that the magic which you have imagined in your mind is exactly replicated, expressed to the audience in the same manner you want them to. The reaction is same which you had imagined. It takes a lot of time in the starting, and you'll be frustrated with showing no results, but once you're through it and you see the miracles happening, your miracles will truly feel like one. That's all from my side today. There you go. Bye. Take care.